na ba tayo? Okay na? Ayun eh. Oh, oh. Ayun eh. Oh. Ayun eh. Yang tanding. Kare. Kareli. Napunta mo yun mile. Yung ching kumisisin. Kumisisin kabihin sen. Ha? Hoş bakayım. Yaramaz çocuk seni. Haydi. Hop. Hep beraber. Oh. Ay. Sabah olmasın.
Ay doğru yaslanır, ay doğru yaslanır, günlerde yaslanır, günlerde
Oh. Haydi.
gelin olacak kızlar, gelin olacak
Kızlar.
her gider hep nazlanır,
Hani gider hep nazlanır. Hop.
çifte
Aliye.
Ayşe kızma hayriye,
Bak.
çapkınlıktan sanmaz,
Böyle kalori verecek. Ne dersiniz? Hadi gelin hep beraber.
Ayşe kızma hayriye, çapkınlıktan sanmaz.
Oh. Oh. Haydi. Oh. Aman. Oh. 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 Herkese selamlar. Oh. Hello and welcome to another video. So today what we're going to do on our house renovation series is we're going to tidy up my garage, which I'll show you in a minute, and we're also going to finish off the wall, which I'm also going to show you, and we're also going to, well, it's not going to happen all in one day obviously because I'm not that good, that's for sure. And we're also going to finish off brickwork that I've started previously, which was closing off a door. Internally it was done, externally about a third of the way, so I need to finish that off. And I also need to remove another window and then block that off too, inside and outside, as it's a cavity wall. So let's spin you around and show you what we're going to do. So this is my garage that I built myself. It's more like a lean-to type of thing. If you have a look, that's how it is. It looks much longer than it is on the camera because it's on a wide angle camera, so it will look much longer than it kind of is, but it isn't that long. It's about 2 car lengths comfortably. Yeah, easily 2 car lengths. You need to have room on either side as well, no problems. It's about 3 meters wide. It's actually 3 meters and 50 millimeters, 3050 even. It's about, I can't remember the height actually, but it's around 2.5 ish, somewhere around there. Right, so you'll see where all these OSB boards are. And what we're going to do is install more of these 75 by 75 posts. We're going to put some more in the middle, and we're also going to close off the bottom as well. So we're going to put one length across the bottom and then another one in the middle coming down like that, and then that will help us close it off. So what we're going to do is we're going to put insulation in between the two OSB boards. So there'll be another OSB board covering this. These are 18mm OSBs, and we're going to put insulation between there and there for sound insulation. That's the idea, to stop the sound from travelling, and to keep the place warm as well. I know what you're going to say, it's open underneath. Yes it is, but I've got other plans for that, to kind of roughly close it off, not fully. And next door's wall is like almost 20 millimeters away from my plywood, so there's a small gap between my garage and next door's garage. So there's the window we're going to remove, that one there. I've got loads of boxes on the floor at the moment for boxing up stuff, because I'm about to move a lot of things. So if we look at this window, That's going to come out, and that'll be blocked off, bricked up and stuff. That's what I'm going to do. And here we also have this unfinished brickwork, which was the external door, which was, this is where the extension starts, literally there. And you see my starter kit, brick starter kit, bolted to the original house. So there, all this is the original house to the right, and to the left is all the extension. As you can tell, it finishes over there. It's about 3 meters. So the reason we removed this, a few reasons. One is because it gives us more space inside, as we already have an external kitchen door that goes straight out to the garden. This used to come to the side, and before I built the garage, it was simply a driveway. I mean, there is a external garage also, which is this one. This is the existing single garage, which is like 16 foot by 8 foot box standard size. But that garage is going to come down at some point, and basically I'm going to continue this roof all the way through and build something similar to what I've got right now, with all OSB plywoods and whatnot, and just continue it along this wall. Along that wall, it will just run all the way. So that's the plan for that. But when that's going to happen, I haven't got a clue. So at this moment, that's an external project, not internal, and we're focusing internal. The reason I'm in the garage is because I need to utilize this space where Zaytin is lying down over there. I need to utilize all of that space for storage for all the stuff that's going to come out of the house. Hence the reason I'm finishing off some of the jobs that I already started previously, one of them being this single door blocking off. Then that gives me a blank canvas where I can install lots of new shelving that I'm planning on installing, which I'll show you an example of it. Hold on. Right, so we're now inside the single garage, the original garage, and the reason why we're here is to show you what I've built previously. So this is a 2x2 timber, OSB 18mm, and this is something like 22mm by 100, I believe, something along those lines, 90 maybe. And these are the legs, let's say, and they screw through like this into this timber. And then if you have a look there on the back, there is that timber is screwed straight to the wall, brick wall, and that gives us the back support of the shelf, and the front support is this basically, and that goes all the way to the ground. And that's the similar setup I'm going to do over here. So I'm going to build it all the way across. Zaytin, move please. I'm going to start building it from this end all the way through, all the way up to roughly end of this window basically. And then same on this side. We're going to start off in line with the window, which is roughly here, and then work our way all the way that way right to the end of the garage. And the idea is to build floor to ceiling shelving, literally from there right the way up to the ceiling, probably up to where those timbers are, where those wall plates are. So yeah, that's the main plan. Hence the reason I need to clear out all of this stuff that you see. So what I'm about to do, see these metal shelvings, I've got another spare one of these. I'm going to set that up in a minute and put it over there, and then start moving off some of the bits and bobs across this side onto there. And then I've got some new boxes, empty ones, because everything that's on these shelves we just chucked in there. There was no plan to it whatsoever. Whatever sort of come along, I just shoved it in there. As you can tell, there's a BMW gearbox sitting over there, and that's my ramp pump. So just random stuff just sitting, it shouldn't even be there. But at the time, I rush, and this is what happens. Your garage becomes a scrap pile basically. So what I need to do is a lot of tidying, and then I can actually get on with the work that needs to be got around. So the area I was going to focus was this end, but I'm thinking I think I'd rather focus on this end, simply because I want to get to that window so I can rip it out and brick it up. So I think it'll be better to focus on this end rather than that end for now. Right, so let's crack on and get on with it. Whoop, whoop. Right, so to show you these shelving units that I have, this is what I'm going to set up. It's very simple and easy to fix. You don't need any tools. These sort of plastic round connector things is what you use to connect the whole thing up. It's very basic and simple, which I'll show you in a minute. Whoop, whoop. So here's one of the connectors. It's slightly wider at one end and slightly narrower at the other end, and they clip together, so like comes in two halves like this, and you just spin it around the right way would help. If I could do this by hand. Hold on. And like that becomes one. And if you look inside, there's this little lip just there, right? So that little lip is basically what marries up to the lines that are on the actual posts that hold it together, basically. And you can just, it's fully height adjustable, every single shelf, move them up and down as you please. And that's pretty much it. It's very simple to put together, and I'll put one together and I'll show you what it looks like. Whoop, whoop. Right, so I've just set one up as an example, as you can see, helping out, keep an eye on that and making sure I'm doing everything right. So I left a little gap between there and there for the lid and the ease of pulling it in and out. And that's basically the bottom one done. And then next shelf will go again, allow enough room for another box like that. And then next one will go roughly here. In fact, I need to put on the legs. So this is one of the legs, like this, and I need to make sure it goes on there. Excuse the sound. Right, there we are. It's going in place, and just like that. So then, now we can get the next bracket on, which I'll show you in a sec. And that's basically what we're going to do all the way around on all four of them. As you can tell, they're ready for the next thread. And once that's on, we'll slide the next bracket all the way down and see how far we get. And I'm hoping to get right to the top and just put one at the top, and that should give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, even though we have 4 shelves, because the ground is another shelf really. Technically I can use that as well. Rather than just having 4 shelves, I'll have 5. Just much more space, you know. So that's the idea. It will take 2 boxes on each shelf at the moment. I do have wider versions of these, but the wider ones are upstairs in one of the in the back. So, well, we will be bringing them back down here, but for the moment, just so that we can clear out what's here, we're going to utilize this spare one and then start moving stuff over. So yeah, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. Right, so let's show you how this shelving looks. Zoom out, and voila. There's obviously, normally it shows one to be right at the bottom, but I haven't put that in. I'd rather have shelving above rather than off the floor. So then it gives me 5 shelves rather than 4. So as you can see, it looks much better like that. I'm going to move that over there, out of the way. You can see where my ramps are, out of the way as well. So yeah, let's move that over there and start filling these boxes. Whoop, whoop. So I thought I'd show you the progress, see what's happening. I mean, it's still a big mess, but I think there's some... Right, so these are all boxes that I've emptied from like racks and stuff across there. I'm just about to move that engine with this crane, because as you can tell, that little shelf thing is falling apart. I'm surprised it's not actually falling on the ground, but I think this shelf and that shelf is kind of holding it together. So I'm glad it is, to be totally honest. All of those boxes at the back there, most of it is recycling, except for that big one over there. That one is something special. I might do a video on it later on, but that's to do with my business. So that's that. And I've put that new shelf that I built there. There it is over there, with all the with a few boxes on it already. And then we're going to move to this section once it's once this engine is kind of out of the way. So I need to move this engine now. It's ready to be moved. Just got to jack up the hoist and get it in there and pick it up. I'm planning on putting it here for now, just there, across there. Put a piece of timber underneath it so it's nice and level. Move this out of the way, because that's my tripod for recording and stuff. So yeah, that's how it's going at the moment. Honestly, you don't realise how much crap there is in one of those racks. It's ridiculous. Anyway, cracking on. Whoop whoop. Definitely helps to have the right tool for the right job, that's for sure, instead of breaking your back. So there it is. Managed to drop it down there using the crane, and we can now see the broken trolley. I mean, I'm surprised it held as long as it did, honestly. Fair play. Whoever built it kind of done a good job. Anyway, that's one part of one heavy thing out of the way. I think next I'm going to move these 3 trolleys. They're all on wheels, but I do have to separate some of these tools and stuff and put them in, put some of them in like plastic boxes and whatnot, because there are lots of Subaru parts across that bottom half and middle half on all 3 trolleys. So I need to move all of them into boxes. Then that frees up some more space for me to put my tools down in the trolleys instead, which is what it should be in the first place. Right, let's crack on. Boop, boop. Right, so this is the last video of the night. It's gone past 8 o'clock, so time to go to some din-dins. And Sam's awake now, so I can go and see her as well, because she's done her night shift. She was shattered. And let me show you what I've done. So I've just repositioned this shelf, which was over, let me just put a wide angle, that's better, which was the one that was here, and that's where the engine was. So I've got a Subaru block there, and I think, I can't remember what gearbox that is from. Doesn't matter, I'm sure I'll figure it out. They've got to move somewhere. Maybe I'll move them in this vicinity, and I'm also going to do the same thing as I did to these shelves. So if you look at that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, technically 5 shelves, but when you look at this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So you can't really utilize the whole space. So I'm going to do whatever I did on this one for the adjusting of the shelves, I'm going to do exactly the same to this one, so that I can get more boxes and stuff on there. So that'll give me much more storage. And I'm going to do the same thing with this lot as well, because there's another 2 here. I am probably going to move one of them over and butt it up to this one, and that distance there should be enough to be distance between there and there. If anything, it will probably go past it anyway, so that should be enough for me to get my to get access to that window to rip it out. So and then tomorrow I'm going to focus on this area and then start moving things from here to there. And that automatic gearbox can't really stay there, so that will have to come away from there and probably go next to all of that other pile over there. And I might even move that engine crane from there and put it on the other side, all the way around the other side, so that actually gives me a bit more space for this block gearbox and that gearbox. So they're all heavy items, so I'd rather they kind of stay over there. So I think I'd rather do that. And I might even be able to push that that rack further that way, and then I can butt this one up to it. It'll be behind that pipe, but it doesn't matter, it'll be fine. So then we'll have one left over there, and I'll probably chuck that all the way to the front over there, and there should be more than enough space over there for it. Yeah, there's more than enough space. Those batteries are all scrap, so I need to do a scrap run really. And then we have those 3 trolleys, so they will probably go in front of this lot across here, just on the floor there, just so that they're out of the way. And then that will give us, the only thing that will be left is these 2 here, which I'm not that bothered until I finish this side off. And then once I finish all the bricking and stuff, they can stay there. This lot can stay there. And then that should, once I clear these 2, and there's a pillar drilled there that needs to be moved as well. That's quite heavy. And an anvil right at the bottom there. Big ass steel thing. So I need to basically just clear this space for me tomorrow, hopefully, and crack on. See the mastic across the top of the bricks there? This window was actually leaking. Every time it peed down, like very heavy, it would leak inside. So I tried to put some thing on there, mastic and stuff, and I even put it right at the top, on top of that wooden bit there, but it just kept on leaking. I don't know what the hell was going on, but obviously after I'd done the roof for my garage, that stopped all the leak. So which means the problem is either along that piece of wood there, and that it was just sipping in from there. I mean, I don't understand why you would have left a wooden frame around the UPVC window, you know, doesn't make sense. Anyway, that window will be up for sale, so if you're interested, comment below and or get in touch. There's my phone number right there. So yeah, right, that's it for tonight. I'm out of here. Good night. Well, good night for me anyway. Alright, sweet. Whoop whoop.